So there's a lot of mystery to these types of finishes, largely because there's just so many options. But the little secret here is that they all pretty much do the same thing. But I think we can distill this whole topic down for you in a way that helps you make really great decisions for your projects that you're comfortable doing and that help make your project look fantastic. So real quick, my name is Mark and I'm from Woodworker's Source. We're just your friendly hardwood lumber supplier, and you happen to be in my garage right now, but we also have 3 stores in Arizona where you can come visit us. Plus we have a website at woodworkersource.com where you can actually shop for lumber online and we will ship it right to your door. From time to time I make videos just like this just to help demystify some of the things related to hardwood lumber, finishing it, picking it out, and stuff like that. And today we got another one. I've used several types of oil finishes in our videos when demonstrating the way different hardwoods look with different types of finishes in your woodworking projects. So every week I get asked numerous times like, hey, what's the difference between all those oils? Or I saw that you used a Danish oil on that project, but I heard that brand XYZ is better. What do you think of that? Questions like that. But they are just a little bit different from one another in the amount of protection that they provide, the amount of dry time required, and then to a lesser degree, the different techniques that you could use for applying them. So I got this whole arsenal of oil finishes, a handful of sample boards we're going to use, and that way we can just step through a bunch of different varieties, a bunch of different brands, and just explore the similarities, the differences, just basically get you acquainted with how to apply this and how oil finishes can really make your projects look great. So I chose this wood called Sapelli to run our samples on. This is a really nice wood that reacts well with oil finishes. It's got a nice, natural, warm, reddish color to it. It also has gorgeous ribbon grain figure, and so an oil finish just really makes this wood dance. I'm gonna say you can categorize all these oil finishes into probably 4 different types. You've got oil wax finishes, drying oils, oil varnishes, and then food safe oils. First up, oil and wax finishes. The question here is, what makes these so great? Why would you choose one? Let's dive into that first. The main thing with these is that they're really forgiving finishes and they're protective enough for furniture and flooring. So this magic recipe of oil and wax allows these to dry really slowly, and that gives you plenty of time to coat your project, work it into the grain, work it into all the details, and then you buff it off nice and smooth all in the same session. The same session here just means before the coat dries. So the beauty with these is that you've got so much time to work with it that there's really no risk of leaving behind streaks or dry spots or any imperfections like that. You got plenty of time to work with it. The wax in these is actually a hardening wax, and so that really protects the wood from abrasion and water stains. So if you're getting the idea here, hard wax oils are great for a whole bunch of reasons. You get a matte sheen or really low sheen for a really nice natural feel. They're water resistant. They won't peel or flake off the way urethane will when it gets old. 1 or 2 coats is plenty for most projects. You don't get any brush streaks. You get a super smooth finish all in one shot. You can do touch-ups and repairs without having to strip off all the old finish, and they give your wood project a nice, beautiful, warm color. Now, when should you choose this kind of a finish? Well, basically, when all those characteristics appeal to you and they work for your project, go for it. You know, and for example, I just finished some floating shelves out of white oak. This is the one that I chose for this. Check this out. Just needed something that was going to be easy to apply and that really helped make white oak look beautiful. And I thought this stuff just fit the bill. Any one of these brands would have worked out just fine. I just happened to choose this one. Now, drying oils are just a simpler animal. Maybe you've heard of Tung Oil, Teak Oil, boiled linseed oil, Danish oil. There's even exterior grade oil for outdoor projects. What these do is they absorb into the wood fibers and they bring wood just a nice warm color. They also accentuate the grain, and then they provide just a little bit of protection. At least with just one coat, there's not a whole lot of protection, but there's more to the story. The way you apply these is much the same way. You wipe on a coat, you let it sit there for a while, and then you wipe off the excess. How long you wait before you wipe it off really is up to the manufacturer. Believe it or not, these come with free instructions on the back. So the similarities are really all in how they look and how they feel. The differences are in their levels of protection, but to get the protection that they offer, you're gonna have to build up numerous coats. And the protection I mean there is from water and ultraviolet light. And those benefits are pretty much isolated to teak oil and exterior oil. You take those out of the equation, and what you're left with are these. And the one outlier here is Danish Oil. And the difference between Danish Oil and these others is that this has a varnish mixed into it. And varnish is a nice, hard, clear coating. And so you can build up numerous coats of this to get a really hard, durable finish and get a brighter sheen if that's what you want to do, like gloss or semi-gloss. Otherwise, after one coat of any of these, you're at a crossroads. You can either stop there, or you can apply more coats, or you can choose to apply a different top coat. Then here's a real world situation for that. So I've just finished this walnut log cookie for a tabletop. Applied Tung Oil to darken up the hardwood, and then shot it with lacquer after that Tung Oil cured. And that gives me two things, right? The color I want, and then the added protection that I need for this type of a project. But there's probably 1,000 other directions you can go, right? You don't have to do lacquer. You could just do like a coat of wax. You could do a polyurethane over this if you wanted to. If you like water-based finishes, that works too. Make sure that the oil is cured, then put down a coat of de-wax shellac, and water-based finish will just stick right to that. The direction you go there really just depends on what it is that you want and what your project might need. So good old brush on polyurethane is a really nice example of an oil-based varnish. But I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on this today because it really hits the outer boundary of what the subject matter is today. But this stuff is worth hitting real quick to get the whole context of oil-based finishes. Generally speaking, oil-based varnish doesn't apply as fuss-free as the other finishes we talked about, like the drying oils and the wax oils. It's just that these require more time and more effort to get a really nice, smooth finish. So this type of finish lets you build up a really nice, hard, durable coating that wraps around your project. Most of the time you're gonna apply this stuff with a brush, but there are some varieties that you can apply with a rag by just wiping it on and wiping off, like gel polyurethane. There's also General Finishes Armor Seal. It's just another type of oil-based urethane. So with ones like these that you can just wipe on and wipe off, you don't have to worry a whole lot about using good technique to get a really nice finish without brush streaks or imperfections. First, with an oil varnish finish, you should be applying numerous coats, at least 2 or 3, depending on your project. But in order to take advantage of the durability that they offer, you're gonna need to build up numerous coats, right? And second, you should be sanding in between each coat to remove imperfections to make sure that you're getting a nice, smooth finish in the end. If you see where I'm going with this, they take more time and they take more trouble. But the reason to pick one of these finishes is just when you absolutely want that durable coating to protect your project from the big bad world of things like drink spills, food disasters, or say a desktop where your hand's always gonna be touching it. Basically, we're talking about tabletops, tabletops, and tabletops. So I'd say the last category of oil finishes are food-safe oils. And honestly, this could be a topic all on its own, but what we're talking about are butcher block oils, cutting board oils, and that type of thing. Basically, when you are building a project that comes in contact with food, when in doubt, choose a cutting board or butcher block oil. But similar to all the other oils that we talked about, these also give wood a really nice, rich color. They enhance the contrast, and they especially make dark woods even darker. Of course, these do wear off with use, right? The more that you run that project underwater, the more you wash that project, the more you cut tomatoes on that project, expect to have to reapply this type of finish maybe every 3 to 4 months. Just depends on how much abuse you put it through. Hey, a couple of safety notes about oil finishes. That's because they pose a few hazards. First thing is you don't want to breathe the fumes. Wear a respirator. Also, get some gloves. You don't want this stuff all over your skin. And then when it comes to cleanup, you want to either use mineral spirits or paint thinner. That's cleaning up some spills, or if you used a container to mix some stuff, use some paint thinner or mineral spirits to clean those up. Also, the oily rags. This is the big deal. You don't want to leave your oily rags just laying around. You don't want to ball them up and toss them aside because they can spontaneously combust. Here's what I like to do is just lay it out flat, and I drape it over the edge of my garbage can. Let it dry overnight. Once this is dry, it'll harden up, and then it's safe to crumple up and throw away. If you still got questions, post them below. We'll try to answer. Again, my name is Mark. I'm from Woodworker Source. We got 3 stores in Arizona. You can come visit us, or you can visit us at our website, woodworkersource.com. We sell woods like this to people like you and ship it right to your door if you want to. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.